Quick one today, so quick I haven't even set up the camera properly. But I wanted to get this one done quick because lots of people have been asking me questions and we're just going to do a quick question and answer session. There seems to be a lot of confusion about Trading 212's new pending orders rule, so let's clear some of it up.
I'm amazed how many people own stocks. I'm amazed how many people own stocks.
Welcome back everyone, my name's Paul, blah 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 blah. Let's just talk about some of the questions. I was hoping you would have mentioned the minimum £100 buying and selling and stop loss limits placed on Trading 212. Hey Paul, thanks for the video. What did you think of the new minimum £100 limit for buying equities on the Trading 212 platform? And this one from Dan really did make it sound like there was a lot of confusion and a lot of misinformation out there. Hey Paul, what do you make of today's notification that minimum orders are now £100, $100 and €100, albeit temporary? Really prices out small investors like me who only buy £10 to £20 a stock at a time. It's interfering in its customers' risk management and now it's setting a £100 minimum value. They really don't have their finger on the pulse anymore. Any thoughts? Yeah, I really do have some thoughts because this isn't true. Trading 212 have set some limits, but on pending orders. Pending orders like stop limits and stop losses. This isn't wonderful, but it doesn't mean that you can't buy anything that's under £100. I did get really confused about this at first because everyone was messaging me on Instagram and in the comments, and I couldn't figure out why I was able to buy all the stocks that I wanted. Because I was having no problem and I couldn't really figure it out. So the first bit of misinformation that I really need to get rid of is that you can still buy stocks for under £100. That's never changed for market orders, and that really confused me because I don't use limit orders at all. And Trading 212 cited that they've had numerous complaints from exchanges that they have a lot of volume of small pending orders. And yeah, this is something that's kind of worrying, not for Trading 212 specifically, but more that the exchanges are kind of trying to control the situation. I imagine the exchanges just can't keep up and they need to move with the times. The second one, which really shouldn't surprise me, is the huge amount of pending orders that happen before 2:30. This is what's happening in a market where people don't understand how the market works. It seems that this is part of the new stock market world, which I don't really need to be a part of. It sounds like lots and lots of people hear news about companies overnight and then try and place orders on them before the market opens, thinking that they're going to get a good deal out of it. Why do you think companies announce their news on weekends and overnight? So you can't buy them. Ordering a share before the market opens rarely gives you an advantage. These are the pending orders that Trading 212 is talking about. Also, limit orders before 2:30 don't really make sense to me either. Of course, I did try it when I first started out, and I realized very quickly that it doesn't work. It's kind of one of those well-known rules in the stock market where you shouldn't really buy it open because you're going to get the highest price that it possibly could be. And it's not really a safe way to invest. Like I said, this doesn't really affect me because I buy at market whenever I feel that a price is good. I set price alerts, and whenever it ticks down to the price alert, I start buying. That's basically how I do it. I definitely understand how limit buys work here, but cash is trash. Why you got loads of cash hanging around waiting for a limit buy? It just doesn't make sense to me, and I don't understand why this is apparently making a lot of people angry. Like I've always said, I hold a little bit of a reserve for Trading 212 because of its customer service and its problems with share dealing, but this just isn't that bad. This is just a problem that they've had to take away, and it seems like generalized maintenance to me. Honestly, I don't care if that's not a popular opinion with the loudmouths, but we've got to start applying some logic to this situation because people have a lot invested in this app. I think that's all I've got on this. It's pending orders and limit buys. Stop losses, yeah, I can definitely get behind. I can see where the problem could lie there. But if you're trading, just get yourself into a CFD platform because I'm pretty sure that's still working perfectly. Right, just going to finish with a quick question. This question's probably been sitting around for months now. It's from George Rudd. Hi Paul, great vids. You own a lot of companies at this point. Are you still able to follow their stories close enough? This is a pretty interesting question if I'm honest. My portfolio now sits at 22,041. I've designed this portfolio as a potentially lower risk portfolio that gets most of its gains from the dividend growth of the companies within it. Now I currently have 32 investments in my portfolio, which is considered quite a lot. And I do have quite a wide range of companies. This portfolio you might consider as being quite heavily diversified. Some of the companies in the ETFs do very, very well. Some of them not so well. But I will say that I do feel like I've got quite a good understanding of every single company in this portfolio. But that will be because most of these companies in this portfolio don't necessarily need you to have such a deep understanding. I still consider myself very, very new to investing and always learning. So I chose a strategy right from the start where I could pick companies that don't necessarily need you to go that deep. If I was heavily invested in Square or Plug Power or even Tesla, then yes, I would need to know everything I could about that company. I would need to be absolutely sure that that company is going to go on to world domination. But I don't feel that, at least right now, I don't have that ability. But I spend every single day trying to learn. It's full of companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and McDonald's, companies that you can quite safely say will be around for a long time. And all I really want to do is figure out what price I want to buy them. Something that, yes, I promise I will get around to very, very soon. But I can show you a couple of companies which I do think are undervalued at the minute. One of those undervalued companies I think is Bristol Myers Squibb. It's got pretty much everything you'd want out of a stock these days, except it's not in a cool industry. Pharma isn't very cool at the minute and this stock feels very underloved. It's got a growing dividend with a lowering payout ratio, which is music to my ears, and it's regularly being bought in the ARK Invest Genomics ETF, so it should be pretty cool as well. And over the next 2 to 3 years, analysts do predict that this company will have quite high earnings growth. But I do admit that companies like Bristol Myers Squibb are a little bit more complicated than your Coca-Colas and your McDonald's. So for some companies, you do have to do a little bit more diving. But when you do figure out how the business model works and you've got that in your head, it is quite easy then to just find the news and read up on it. But yeah, there are downsides to having so many companies. And yeah, maybe in the near future, I might have a bit of a reshuffle. But for me right now, as I'm still learning about investing, my aim is to just not lose money. And I think the best way to do that for me is to pick lots of different solid dividend companies. Not a popular strategy right now, but the importance of investing is that it works for you. Thank you very much for watching, guys. The investment app that I use is called Trading 212. If you want to sign up to Trading 212, you can use a link in the description below. If you sign up through that link, you can get a free share that's worth up to £100. Also, I use eToro to buy my Bitcoin and my Ethereum. I just find that's a better place there. There's a link in the description below if you wanted to sign up for that. Just remember that crypto assets are very, very volatile and no one knows where Bitcoin's about to go. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and invest.
I'm amazed how many people own stocks. I'm amazed how many people own stocks. The sucker's going up.